All across social media, there's talk about Bitcoin setting up a really nice inverse head and shoulders pattern right now. A chart pattern that could see the price of Bitcoin mooning to an eye-popping $150,000 in the not-so-distant future. Sounds pretty juicy, right? But is this pattern the real deal? Is this 150K price target actually realistic, or are posts like this just noise that should be ignored altogether? That's the subject for today's video, so let's dive right in. All right, so just to lay the foundation, let's recap. What is a head and shoulders pattern and an inverse head and shoulders pattern? So according to classic technical analysis, these are traditionally seen as major reversal patterns, meaning when the price is in an uptrend, as it was for Bitcoin in 2020 and 2021, price will eventually form some kind of head and shoulders pattern. At least not always, but quite often you'll see this form up on the chart. This is a signal that the overall trend is likely to reverse. Basically have rally 1, rally 2 pushes to the final high, rally 2 attempts to get back up but fails. It's the rally that fails, and then price goes down. You can see it. This is how it played out in Bitcoin for 2021, and an inverse head and shoulders usually works in the opposite direction. Here's ETH earlier this year. You can see the larger downtrend, and the price puts in this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and that was a leading indicator for the price to start moving up, which it did. Now, let's go a bit deeper into the technicals of both these patterns. See, the details will be important for what we're about to discuss, so the context is incredibly important. Just keep in mind that everything I say next applies to both pattern. It's just reversed with the inverse head and shoulders pattern, because that's a bullish chart reversal pattern, whereas the standard head and shoulders is a bearish one. So first, you'll always have the two shoulders, and you'll have the head. Shoulder, shoulder, head. You guys know how it works. The head always sticks out further than the shoulders. The shoulders generally should be not perfectly even with each other, but relatively close. Art more than the science, but it needs to be looking like the pattern. Second, you've got the neckline, which is the lows between each shoulder and the head. Again, these lows should be relatively equal. They don't need to be perfect. You'll often see the neckline having a bit of a slant, but not too much, okay? Third, the head and shoulders is confirmed whenever the price breaks under the neckline. Finally, the price target. Once confirmed, a head and shoulders breakdown or breakout price target is measured from the top of the head down to the neckline, and then projected from the neckline towards the breakout direction. So this is everything you need to know. And remember, all of this applies to the inverse head and shoulders. It's just reversed because it's the bullish chart pattern. So now that we've got the basics covered, let's discuss Bitcoin, where it is currently. Again, there's some talk on social media that we are set up for an inverse head and shoulders pattern right now, with a price target for $150,000 in the coming months. So before we break down if this is valid or not, you're gonna need a place to trade Bitcoin. A great place to check out is Femex. I've been using it for years. It's a trusted name in the cryptocurrency trading space, deep liquidity, global access, meaning it's literally available to anyone, anywhere, including you. Right now, they're offering a massive edge to new users. This is exclusive using my link. Sign up right down here below. There's the link. Go check it out. And you're gonna get this. You'll go straight to VIP level 2. That means 50% off your spot trading maker fees, 40% off your futures maker fees. That's crazy. You're saving real money with every trade. And if you're a big trader, you trade a lot, you know how much that adds up and how fast that adds up. On top of that, Femex is handing out to $30,000 in deposit and trading bonuses. So the more you deposit, the more you trade, the more bonuses you get. Big traders, this is your moment. Don't miss it. Claim your VIP status while it lasts. The limited time offer right down below. Go check it out. So let's apply what we've just reviewed to the Bitcoin chart right now. See how well things actually match up. So generally, I do not have a problem with viewing this pattern as a inverse head and shoulders. We've got everything you need here, okay? The general pattern is intact. The shoulders aren't perfectly aligned, but that's not a deal breaker. Again, more of an art than a science. It's never really perfect. The neckline is coming in around $109,000, so it all looks kind of fine. Now, when we do our measurements, there's a $34,000 increase from the bottom of this head to the neckline. And when we project from the neckline up, well, that's going to give us our price target for the breakout of this pattern that's been forming up basically for 6 months now. And we are going to arrive at a price target of $143,000, which logical. I could see everybody expecting 150, whales dumping the early 140s, start taking profits. I could see that. Might overshoot a bit too, hit 150K anyway. I could also see that, but the range is there. It's approximately where we're gonna go. So far, so good. I'm okay with all this. However, my main concern is this. Remember, what we discussed when we started talking about these patterns, inverse head and shoulders are usually reversal patterns, meaning that they usually come after a period of falling prices. Not always, but often. And they signal reversal to the upside. And there's think, oh, we went down to 74K this year. Yeah, but that would be like a big downtrend. That when we go from 300K to 150 or 100K, that's when you're gonna see a inverse head and shoulders from up near the bottom. Right now, Bitcoin's a prevailing uptrend, not a downtrend. So the question then is, do inverse head and shoulders patterns sometimes appear as continuation patterns, or do they really only appear as reversal patterns? Well, let's ask the robots, guys. According to Grok, these patterns indeed can occasionally function as continuation patterns. So although we normally think of them as reversal patterns, them functioning as continuation patterns, though less common, certainly happens, and it's not their primary interpretation. Thanks, Grok. Grok further noted that when they do occur, it usually happens during complex, corrective, or consolidation price structures. And digging into the TA literature a little bit here, we find something interesting. And it appears that Grok is correct. These patterns can appear in an ongoing trend as a continuation pattern, but it's just a little less common. So with that in mind, I must say that I find this particular theory that Bitcoin right now is in a massive 6-month wide head and shoulders pattern, and that a breakout is coming with potential targets of between $140,000 and $150,000. Kind of bullish propaganda I want, man. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. It's interesting. I like it. Good. Now we see the breakout beyond $109,000 beyond the neckline. Let's go. And this leads me to my final question for today. Well, I obviously prefer this to be an inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern. What if it's just the hopium talking? And the reality is that this right now is a double top. It's a double top, guys. Run for the hills. We're about to dump from here big time, just like we did at the end of the last bull run.
Walter, the point is,
they're gonna kill her, Walter, and then they're gonna kill me.
Dude, that's just the stress talking, man.
Get out of here with the dirty bull propaganda. Look, it's possible. My bet currently is no way. I'm betting on the inverse head and shoulders upside bet here. I've got my bankroll betting that this is not the top. You want reasons? I got reasons. I got so many reasons.
Where the fuck are they gonna
You want a
get...
toe? I can get you a toe. Believe me. There are ways, dude. You don't want to know about it, believe me.
Yeah, but Walter...
Hell, I can get you a toe by 3 o'clock this afternoon with nail polish.
Here's two off the top of my head. First, if we're really in a double top scenario, the market's just waiting for any excuse to just puke its guts out. Don't you just think, maybe, just maybe, Bitcoin would have dropped a lot more than 8% on fears that World War III was going to happen and there was going to be a broader Middle East war and the Strait of Hormuz was going to be closed and there'd be pain and suffering and pulling hair and gnashing of teeth across the Middle East. 8%, it's the best Bitcoin could do in the face of World War III. Great. Second, go to bitcointreasuries.net. Look at what's happening with the publicly traded companies. It's truly shocking. Right now, there are it's more than like one per day new companies entering that are confirming that they are having Bitcoin on their balance sheets, or they're launching Bitcoin treasury strategies, they're raising millions of dollars to buy Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not announcements, not plans, not plans of plans, but no, actual Bitcoin being put on balance sheets in record numbers. Oh, some companies only 10 or 20 million. Some companies are a few hundred million. Some companies are a billion bucks. There's so much cash, there's so much money in the world, especially in the hands of corporations. So I'm going to repeat this right now. On average, there's more than one publicly traded company per day that is announcing that they are buying Bitcoin, they've already purchased Bitcoin, and that they're currently holding it on their balance sheets. This is monstrously insane, especially at a time when Bitcoin ETFs keep seeing multi-$100 million daily inflows. Believe me when I tell you, I think we are going a lot higher from here. And look, obviously, I'm always open to being wrong and losing shit tons of my money. Sure. But right now, I think we're looking at a 6-month wide Bitcoin inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern that is going to break out to the upside, and that the move throughout the end of the year is going to take us up to around $150,000. The neckline is at $109,000. When you see price get a few daily closes above this level, prepare for fireworks. Thanks for watching.